Hello, beautiful friends. This is the Organizer Advisor here to help you enhance your happiness and transform your life. We are on day 17 of our total life transformation in just 30 days. So we are already on the downhill slope to completing our total life transformation. And I'm so proud of you for hanging in there this long and doing this work. These small scaffolded steps really add up to big changes. Let's talk about the steps we're going to take today to totally transform our life. So grab your hydration beverage, let's have a sip and a sit, and I'll talk you through today's togas. So if you're just joining me on this journey, togas are today's organizational goals and activities. These are the small scaffolded incremental steps that we take to create sustainable change in our lives. And that is our total life transformation process. Now, this process includes 5 components: document organization, organize to utilize, wardrobe restructuring, every nook and cranny cleaning our homes, and daily health and beauty routines so we look and feel our absolute best. That is true transformation, and it's all free. So even if you're just joining me now, everything is archived step by step on all 3 platforms: Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Now on YouTube, there is a playlist called 2026 Total Life Transformation, and you're going to find every single video there. There's also playlists for just specifically each of the 5 components: document organization. I have clean with me videos for every nook and cranny cleaning. I even have cooking videos on there, how to maximize your food resources and save money on your grocery budget. There's a plethora of videos there, and I guarantee there is something for everyone, and you will learn a whole lot. So let's get started on today's togas for document organization. Today we're going to build a professional portfolio. This little portfolio is going to house all of the documents related to your education, profession, work training, certifications, recommendations, and your most current resume. So this is a great strategy, and yes, I have a video in the playlist Document Organization about how to build your professional portfolio if you need a more robust tutorial. But as we are filing those piles, we want to go ahead and start to pull aside and put into the professional portfolio any of the documents we find that pertain to our work, education, training, and certifications. So this is absolutely a phenomenal strategy in the case that you want to apply for a higher paying job or a promotion. Maybe you're a career switcher and you want to enter the workforce with a different career field, or if you are just exploring some different career options. This portfolio is going to be extremely helpful when you apply for jobs online, fill out applications. You can take this to an interview so you can answer any question on the spot. Plus, in the case you want to go to a job fair, you have all the documents you need to answer any question a prospective employer is going to ask. So that's what we're going to work on today for document organization. All right, let's move on to our organize to utilize. This week, we're going to start highlighting some of the things that we can do to help organize our children. Now, one of the things that I find when I go into a client's home, if they have children, they have stuffies, stuffed animals. And these are certainly items that can be cleaned. They're great items to give comfort to a child, as well as they're very personal. They're very personal to children. Oftentimes there's a lot of stuffies in a room, and so we can come up with some storage devices in order to manage that mess. There's baskets, there's towers, there's netting, you can put them on a shelf on display. You can even get cubbies like this. But there's a couple of things I want to talk to you about. As we gather all of these items together, we're going to go through them, and I want to share with you some really, really important information. Then we're going to clean them, and then we're going to go through them and determine which ones we want to keep, which ones maybe our children are ready to release, and then we're going to clean them. And these can be just thrown into the washer with a little gentle laundry detergent, the same thing you would wash young infant clothes in, and then you can throw them in the dryer. So cleaning them is super simple, and it's really important to do because oftentimes these have little hands that touch them all the time, as well as a lot of times children will put particular parts in their mouths. Now, I have a Frenchie that likes stuffed animals quite a bit, and they need to be washed frequently. So speaking of Frenchies, what I'm going to share with you is applicable to both children and pet safety. Now you can see here, I have a couple of little parts that came off this Frenchie. these are plastic toys, and these are choking hazards. They are not so securely sewn in because my little puppy was able to chew these out with no problem at all. So while you are going through your stuffed animals, you want to check and make sure that they don't have plastic parts that are loose that your child or your pet could choke on. Well, we'll go back over this when we talk about pet day, but I'm just going to go ahead and dovetail these things together as we are talking about it. So this is really important that this does not get into a young child's mouth. These are serious choking hazards. And we want to make sure that safety is always the priority in my process. Always. We want to make sure everything in our home is safe for us, for our children, and for our pets. Okay, so as you're going through all of the stuffies that your children have, or maybe you have some of your own, you want to go ahead and make sure that they're safe. You want to make sure that they are in good condition, that there's no stuffing coming out of the stuffies if they need to be sewn. Now, these have little tiny plastic parts in them as weights so that it stands up. However, if this fabric is torn, those little plastic parts can come out and also could be a choking hazard. So you want to make sure that the stuffy is safe. It's safe. Now, this one we're going to set aside because it is no longer, it is a display stuffed animal that I use when I talk about these videos, and I share this information a lot with people because it is so important. All right, so this one is a little more appropriate. You can see the eyes on this cute little manatee. These are sewn in eyes. There are no plastic parts. These are embroidered on, and that is much safer for children and pets. So as you go through these stuffies, this is the most important critical component for safety. Make sure there are no plastic parts. Okay, so now we want to take these stuffies, we want to wash them you can wash them in the washing machine, gentle soap, and then you can give an extra rinse just to get all that soap residue off, and then pop them in the dryer. They're going to come out fresh smelling, soft, and really cuddly. That's our organized to utilize toga for today. Let's go into wardrobe restructuring because we've already finished creating that calm, cohesive, color coordinated closet, and now we are reducing our getting dressed stress. Now the nice thing about this is you can find any garment that you need. Everything is in good wearable condition, so you can create these wonderfully authentic expressions of your personality by being able to combine your clothing in a whole new way. This extends your wardrobe, saves you money, and really makes you feel positive because you're confident. Your clothing fits and makes you feel fabulous, and you are going to be absolutely the star because when you look good, you feel good. So I am systematically wearing things. I shared with you yesterday, and I will again. I'll do a whole new video when we have finished our process on on my laundry system, so that I do my laundry through the week. No more piles of laundry, no more mountains of laundry on the weekend that take all of my time. My weekend times are preserved for me. I have a laundry schedule and a cleaning schedule, so all the cleaning is done through the week to preserve your personal time for you doing things that you love. Otherwise, it's called burnout, and that is the quickest way to get there. Trying to clean your entire home on a weekend and doing the mountains of laundry. How many of you have been there? I know I have. So I developed this system, and it's going to save you, I promise. All right, let's move on to every nook and cranny cleaning. All right, we are finishing the third bedroom. This is maybe a child's bedroom, so I'm trying to dovetail these things together a little bit. So we're going to be focusing on the west wall in the third bedroom. So we will be completing another major room today. So now we have successfully completed the primary bedroom, the secondary bedroom, and the third bedroom, as well as the linen closet and both bathrooms. Now remember, my model is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, which is kind of the standard, the middle-class family that lives in my country. So 3-bedroom, 2-bath house is pretty much the standard. Yours might be a little larger, or it may be a little smaller, but you can adapt this process to fit your needs in your home. So we're going to finish the third bedroom today. Let's get that west wall, every nook and cranny clean, vacuum the flooring, and call it done. I'm so excited. All right, next we're going to talk about our daily health and beauty routines. Today is Saturday, and it's the 17th day of our process, and Saturdays are particular days that I like to get outdoors. Now, the weather's not exactly conducive to being outdoors today, but if it's not raining or snowing or really, really windy, I do like to get outdoors. I like to go out first thing in the morning and watch the sunrise. It really helps It helps to support my circadian rhythm, but also the research is astounding. The positive benefits for both your emotional well-being as well as your physical well-being being out in nature. So if you can just go for a short walk out in nature today, we're up to 20 minutes, so maybe a 10-minute walk in one direction and turn around and come back. That would be absolutely perfect. Breathe in, do your breath work while you're walking or during your meditation time. And then make sure you're hydrating, eat clean, take vitamins and supplements, and spend some time in the frequency of gratitude, because gratitude is, you're right, glitter for your soul. All right, my friends, that is our day today. For our document organization, we're continuing to file the piles with 10 daily documents, but also we're going to create that professional portfolio. For our organized to utilize, it's stuffed animals today. And for our wardrobe reconstruction, we are now systematically wearing our clothing just to make sure everything fits and makes us feel fabulous. For our every nook and cranny cleaning, we're finishing the 3rd bedroom, west wall today. That room is totally clean, organized, and decluttered. Lastly, our health and beauty routine for today is get outdoors if you can, breathe in, spend some time in nature, exercise, just go for a walk, exercise, just a brisk walk, not to even where you're breathless, just walk in nature, take some deep breaths, that's your breath work, meditate, hydrate, eat clean, take vitamins and supplements. If you do, that's always optional, and then be in that feeling of gratitude. Find something that you're grateful for and just spend a few minutes every day appreciating that. It's very uplifting. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for day 18, and until then, my beautiful friends, be well.